I learned something the other day. I always thought hot rods were something that American teenagers built out of old Ford V8s. Not true. The term comes from the 1920s in Britain, when a Rolls-Royce engineer was asked to develop a racing engine for an air race. And he got 1,500 horsepower out of an engine that had previously only developed 800. His name, Rodwell Banks, hence Hot Rod. This is a name that's much more familiar, Plymouth. And this is the Prowler. It's the only hot rod made by a mass manufacturer. When I say mass manufacturer, they're going to make 3,000 of these things, and Plymouth say there's currently 30,000 on the waiting list. So, why do so many people want a car like this? The answer, it's dramatic good looks. I mean, it really stunned the motoring press when it was first shown at the 1996 International Motor Show. Since then, only 3 have come into the country. This is one of them, and there's going to be no more either, because SVA, Special Vehicle Approval, simply will not cope with the way the lights, the bumpers and the front wings are organised on this car. And Chrysler, who make Plymouth, say they're not prepared to compromise and change the car just for British law. So this is as many as you're going to get. The concept is simple. You take the classic lines of the old American hot rod, an aluminium chassis, aluminium independent suspension front and back, a 3.5 litre V6 engine chucking out something over 220 brake horsepower, 4-speed automatic transmission, and there it is. The essence of the old hot rods was their simplicity, and despite its dramatic looks, the Prowler hasn't really changed any of that. So I remember seeing this at the 1996 show. I mean, how come you've got one here?
Well, I saw it at the 96 show as well. It was hanging up, if you remember, on some sort of racking. Fell in love with it there. And there's a friend of mine who deals in performance cars in Canada. I happened to be talking just a while ago and said, if you see a Prowler, can you get one for me? Expecting a 2-year wait. And a week later he came back and said he had one for me.
Is it a rude question to ask you what you paid for it?
Yeah, just a little.
A slight premium?
Yeah, just a slight
premium.
A big premium, a big premium.
Any trouble getting it to be legal on British roads?
Nothing major. We spent about £1,000 on it, on having the lighting altered and changed around, but nothing major, nothing major.
So David, the only one in the country, what's it insured for?
It's insured for £80,000.
And you're prepared to let us drive it?
Yeah, sure.
And it does go as you imagine an old hot rod Ford really would. It's quite funny looking into the eyes of drivers coming the other way as well, because they perceptibly widen as you come round the corner. Chrysler claim that this has European standards of steering, road holding and handling. Not quite sure where they get those European standards from. It's very light aluminium chassis, aluminium suspension and a composite body shell means the whole thing is very light. So even though it's a V6, it's a half go. This automatic transmission is interesting. It converts to a sort of slap shift and you can go up and down through the gears, just bashing it either way. Bit frightening on the move because with the left-hand drive here you simply cannot see that offside front wheel and the car's wider than you think. Now if you did come to the top of the waiting list in the States, you could drive away in your Plymouth Prowler for around £26,000. If you wanted to buy this, which is the only one in the country, it's £80,000. I know exclusivity comes expensive, but that's very expensive. Would I like one? Well, I have to say that a wet Monday in Essex doesn't really compare to a sunny day down the King's Road. But even so, can't resist one more drive.